Hey everybody, welcome to the Cardboard Cave. We're here to do another Marvel United Multiverse unboxing. I've already done a grand unboxing of the big shipping boxes where I got everything. And then I did a more in-depth look at the Coming of Galactus expansion, which I said was actually the thing I was most excited about with this newest wave of Marvel United, which had a huge multi-million-dollar Kickstarter. So just a quick note, some of you might be in a similar situation, so I hope to give some helpful information. If you're just here to see what's in this box I'm going to show you, I will say that I have everything from the original Marvel United and everything from the X-Men United. So I have an incredible amount of stuff. So I actually came to the conclusion that I'm going to sell most everything you saw in that video where I unboxed everything, because I got the first two seasons. There's just so much content there. But the Coming of Galactus expansion just stands on its own separate thing, and I think it's awesome. And then, to be honest, what I want out of this box, and the reason I'm going to go ahead and open it, is the equipment cards. Because there's equipment cards, which is brand new to the Multiverse season. But it has equipment cards not just for all of these heroes, but it has equipment cards for some of the classic characters from past seasons. Specifically from like the core boxes, I believe is what it has. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. Like the retail, the ones that were available at retail, in other words. Not necessarily all of them, I don't think, but some of them at least. If you want to get the other, it took me a while to figure this out. That's why I'm sharing it with you in case you're in this same situation. If you want to get the other new equipment cards, like for other Marvel United or X-Men United characters, there are some of those in the promo box. Unfortunately, that's going to be harder to get a hold of. Your mileage may vary, but I was able to order, there's 26 of them that don't come in this box, but that do work with past Marvel United and X-Men United characters. 26 of them that come in that promo box. I was able to find somebody on eBay selling them for like I think I paid like $22 for all 26 cards, which is too much for 26 cards. But since I decided I really did not need to keep that massive promo box, although it is glorious and it's a good value for how much is in there, it's just too much. It's just too much for me. I have enough. I just want to keep my favorite things. So that was an option for me. You might be able to find something like that. But Marvel United Multiverse, oh, that just falls off the back. Interesting. Oh, no, I was going to say maybe they changed some things here because this was the Kickstarter version. But what in the world is the point of that? 6, 1, 3, 84, 4, 48, 24. Now, according to this, they both have 36 equipment cards. I thought maybe the retail edition wasn't going to include it all. But according to this, it's the same. I don't know what the deal with this is. Maybe it's just a legal thing. Anyways, doesn't matter. Point is, this box is a standalone game. You can play it on its own. Or, of course, you can add it to everything else. But it retails for $39.99, which is pretty reasonable. And you can already find it for like $31 on Game Nerds, on Amazon. So there's places you can already find it for less than $40. Just like with all the core boxes, X-Men, the original Marvel United, they're pretty darned affordable for the core box. It's only if you go stupid like I did and go all in that it becomes a very expensive thing. It's actually a pretty affordable game for the quality and everything. Anyways, if you get this, it's its own standalone game. You can mix it and match it with any of the other Marvel United stuff you might find. And it does, from what I can tell, include some equipment cards, which is kind of the new thing. I don't know. It's one of the new things. It's kind of the new thing I'm excited about that the Multiverse season added. It's just basically a way to spice up your game a little by giving your characters equipment that is thematic to them. And they replace a double wild card. So it doesn't make it easier. The double wild card is so powerful, but it's not thematic. So you got to get rid of the double wild card, and instead you get equipment specific to your character. But enough about that. some of you are here for the whole package. You don't care just about the equipment. So yeah, here it says 7 equipment cards. And when I first read that, I thought, oh man, does it only include 7? No, that's 7 for the 7 heroes in this box. Then there's 8 generic ones, which is cool. So you'll be able to use those with anybody. So like, let's say you're playing a character from one of the past seasons that doesn't have their own specific equipment. You can still use the equipment cards. And then 21 classic, that's what I'm really looking for there. So you can use those with your old characters. That was a cool thing for them to do. And they might release some more in the future, I'm not sure. But anyways, Marvel United, I'm not going to explain how to play it here. I actually explained a little bit how to play it in the Coming of Galactics expansion unboxing, if I did. But it's a cooperative game. It's pretty darn simple. And it's just brilliant in how you can mix and match things without really adding complexity. And these instructions break it down so much. It's really even simpler than these make it look when you look at the number of pages. But here's explaining equipment. Experienced players can use equipment. They don't recommend it for brand new players. It's not much more complicated, but it's a slight complication. But also you have to remove 1 double wild card. So it's not going to make the game easier in most cases, because the double wild card is so powerful. But it's not, like I said, it's not very thematic, and some people feel like it's even a little cheap. Well, this gives you a way to sort of inject a little more theme and maybe a little more challenge too. Anyways, there's just all kinds of special modes you can play. A challenger solo mode, a commander solo mode. Rules summary on the back. But let's keep going on. Tokens. These are mostly the same as the tokens from every Marvel United. Not going to spend a lot of time on them. They're tokens. More tokens. I have seen these before. The Doomlings or Doombots. Those aren't unique just to this expansion. I've not seen that before. I don't think I've seen those. I think I've seen all the other ones here. And here we go. Ultimately decided to unbox this because to have the 21 equipment cards I can use with a lot of my past characters, and for as little as this base set sells for, if I were to try to sell it, I'll be lucky to clear 20 bucks, by the time you pay shipping and everything. It's like, well, why not just keep it? Got a pack of location cards. Sorry, locations. Your villain dashboards. And I'm not going to go through every one of these. This is not going to be an in-depth breakdown because, again, I might turn this around and maybe give it to somebody else. I'm not sure because it's the equipment cards I'm really after. But I want to give you an idea of what you get. So you got 8 locations. I believe you only use 6 at a time. You can probably, I assume, mix and match these with any of the other Marvel Uniteds. That's usually how it works. Like the Galactus expansion specifically said, you can't use these locations with another set. But usually you can mix and match to your leisure. And locations do different things, of course. The villain dashboards just simply tell you what the villain does. It's a very nice cheat sheet, basically, so you don't have to look in the rules to remember what the villain does. So I always like that. And you got cards. You got hero cards. For example, here's a simple Captain Carter card, which simply gives you 1 attack. There's a villain deck. Different master plan cards. So overall, you got 2 big stacks of cards there. And then really, what I'm after is just going to be in this little pile here. But let's go and give you a look at the miniatures first. I'll be honest, pretty much all the Multiverse boxes, everything from this campaign are your lesser known characters. I mean, some of them. I mean, here's Captain Carter. That's not, that's not hard to figure out. Then we got Spider-Man 29. No, that's not in the right order. Oh, here's Loki. Yeah, I do like Loki. I would be tempted to keep him if I'm being honest. Looks pretty cool there. Then you got Mighty Thor. Obviously, Thor was in Marvel United, and I think he's in the very first base box. No, I think he was probably in the Asgard expansion, but he was definitely in the first season. But this is Mighty Thor. Then you got Spider-Man 2099, which is another cool one. There's been a ton of Spider-Man content, as you might expect, in Marvel United already. Spider-Geddon just recently released. There's a Maximum Carnage box that's a part of this wave. Oh, Maximum Carnage, I've heard, is a good expansion, especially if you love Spider-Man, and it is available at retail. You can get it for like $30. So Maximum Carnage is an expansion that's available. So you can get this base box for sure at retail. You can get Maximum Carnage. I think Civil War is one that's available at retail. Some of them are exclusive. Come on, phone. Some of them are exclusive, but you got a lot of... Sorry, that was Black Panther Shuri. Maybe it's because I don't have a white background here. Let's see. Try to help this thing out a little. All right, we got Ironheart here. Pretty cool pose. Then we got anti-hero, which are the best because you can use them as a hero or as a villain. So it's 2 for the price of 1, really. And this is Cosmic Ghost Rider, looking pretty cool, for sure. Maestro. Oh, no, sorry, this is Emperor Doom. They listed out of order in the instruction manual. Emperor Doom, looking pretty wild on his throne there. Immortus, another pretty wild looking one. And I'll give you a spin around view of all of these so you maybe get a little clearer look. And finally we have Maestro. But now let's get into the equipment cards, which is what I'm here for. You know, I'm sure all of you aren't here for that necessarily, but it kind of is what I'm here for if I'm being totally honest. And they are smaller than the other cards, which I think is a good thing. There's just enough cards to keep up with already. So these really stand out as just something separate. You know, they're not part of your hero deck. They're not part of your villains decks. You just know there's something separate. I think that's a good thing. There we go. Got into them. So here we go. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. So let's see. Captain Carter's Shield, Hellfire Chain, Hell Cycle, and it tells you the character on the side. These are all for Loki. Okay, so these here are just for this new Multiverse box. For example, Captain's Carter Shield. Use it on your turn to do 1 attack to an adjacent location, or use it on a villain turn. Ignore damage dealt to any hero in your location. Then turn it face down. Alright. To refresh it, to recharge it, at the beginning of your turn, discard an action token to turn it back face up. Alright. Ghost Rider, we're not going to read all these, I'll do a couple of them. Ghost Rider has the Hellfire Chain. This one is recharged by discarding a card and a fight token. So it's a little harder to recharge. But it says, use on your turn. Attack against up to 2 different targets in your location, then turn face down. So the thing with equipment is, they may not all sound that powerful, but they don't take the place of a turn. It's like equipment on your turn. So like if you have a really cool card in your hand, that's awesome, but that's the card you get to play this turn. These are in addition to, from what I understand. And actually, he has 2 different ones. On your turn, move. So it's just an extra free movement. Again, the power of these are you get to decide when to use them, and they're in addition to your regular stuff. That's sort of the power of them. Let's see. Let's look at maybe a Loki one. So Loki, his scepter. On your turn, add 2 thugs to any location, which usually isn't good, and then perform 2 attacks in any other location. Then turn it face down. Interesting. Alright, so those 7 are just for this new box. Then you got 8 generic ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These can be used with any hero from any version of Marvel United. And they come in the standard retail edition Multiverse box. For example, use on a villain turn. Ignore damage you would take, then turn it face down. Can be used by anybody. It's just body armor. So you got 2 of those. 2 communication devices. If there's no other heroes in your location, then you can do a heroic action for free. Oops, sorry. You got 2 of those. Airlift. A free movement. 2 of those. Makeshift weapon. On your turn, defeat a thug in your location, then turn it face down. 2 of those. So those are pretty basic. There's 4 different ones, 2 of each. But then... oh, these are battle plans. This is something else that I think maybe was introduced in another Marvel United, maybe in the X-Men one. I'm not sure, though. I don't know much about them, but it includes a whole pile of them. To be honest, I've never used them. I think they were in another version, but there's some new battle plans in any case. And then all these are to use with your classic heroes from past campaigns. So we got Ant-Man's suit. Used on your draw card step. Instead of drawing the top card, you can search for a grow or shrink card and draw it. Shuffle and turn this face down. So grow and shrink, if I remember right, are 2 of the most powerful special cards for Ant-Man. So he's letting you basically dig for those. To recharge it, if you played a hero card with no special effect. Oh, that's easy. At the end of your turn, if you played a hero card with no special effect, and most of them don't have a special effect, then you get to turn it back face up, so that's cool. He also has his gauntlets. 2 attacks to split as you like. The light shield for Black Panther. Use on a villain turn, ignore damage to any hero in your location. We're not going to look at all these, but you got Ant-Man, you got Black Panther, Black Widow, Captain America. I know Captain America is very thematic. I've heard people say it is anyways. Use on your turn. Attack in an adjacent location or use on a villain turn. Excuse me. Or use on a villain turn to ignore damage dealt to any hero. Then turn it face down. So this is similar to some of the other ones. He basically throws his shield to an adjacent location for an attack. Or on a villain turn, uses it as defense. So it makes sense. It's a shield. It does make sense. And to recover it, at the beginning of your turn, discard an action token to turn it face up. Simple enough. Cyclops' visor. Use on your turn if you didn't play a card, a hero card with a special effect. You can attack actions in adjacent locations. You may use attack actions. Okay. Oh. So his visor is interesting. Again, these I don't think they don't make the game easier, especially if you're replacing the double wild. They give you another option and knowing when to use them and when to reclaim them, basically. So basically, all your attacks this turn can be done in your location or any adjacent location. But each hero in those locations takes a damage because I guess, is too powerful and he doesn't have full control. Oh, it's a one-time use. You just remove it from the game when that one's done. Gambit. On your turn, gain a movement and a heroic action token. Turn it face down. It's a one-time use, but you get a free movement and heroic action token. You got web shooters for Ghost Spider. Iron Man has deflector shields. On your turn, you can't take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. And it's out of the game. But it's a total shield for one turn. He's also got another one here. You can pause that if you want to read it. He's got another one here. So he's got 3. Magneto's helmet is a permanent ability. This is different. If you're forced to play your hero cards face down or randomly, you can instead turn your earliest face-up card in the storyline face down to ignore the effect. Okay, so gives you more control back, I guess. Here's Spider-Man with Miles Morales. On your turn, move or move a thug or civilian from an adjacent location to your location. So you can use his web to swing, or you can use it to grab a thug or a civilian and bring them to you. Very thematic. Then you got a regular Spider-Man card here. And it's the same thing. Yep, same thing as the other one. And both of them you just have to discard an action token. Oh, we got a Star-Lord one here. Give a wild token from the pool to a hero in an adjacent location. So you get to give a hero a wild token, which is pretty powerful, to anybody in an adjacent location. And you can get it back by discarding an action card or an action token. He also has a permanent ability with his Translator Implant. Heroes in yours and adjacent locations may exchange action tokens as freely as you like. Interesting. Thor's Hammer. Instead of drawing a card from the top of the deck, search for this card, or search for the, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, his hammer. Search for his hammer card and draw it. Well, that's cool. So it brings it back to you, and I'm assuming that's probably his special card, so that's a good thing. Anyway, you got Wasp. Wasp has 2 cards here. And then we're back to Captain America's shield. All right. So, how many was that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I counted 15 different heroes. Some of them have multiple cards, but I think I counted 15 different heroes. Can have equipment. And then, of course, like I said, you've also got the generic equipment you can give to anybody. So there you go. That's a focus on the equipment cards, but a general overview of everything you get here with Marvel United Multiverse. Again, I know Marvel United is kind of known for being this big, bulky, expensive thing, but the truth is, it's a very affordable game. This is a complete game in a box, and this includes more than the original Marvel United box did. The X-Men one really stepped it up a notch, but the very original Marvel United was fun, but I don't think it was quite enough to let you see kind of the brilliance of the game. It was just so simple. But once you started adding more stuff in, you're like, okay, I see why this is pretty cool now. But yeah, this has quite a bit of content. I mean, since the Ghost Rider can be a hero or a villain, you've really got 4 villains and 7 heroes. That's pretty good. Plus the equipment for all the new characters included, plus equipment for, it looks like 15 of your classic characters. It's a pretty cool box. If I didn't have an incredible amount of Marvel United already, I would be excited to just use it all. But I'm mostly here for these equipment cards, if I'm being honest. For one thing, it just takes a lot of space. You know, to organize everything. I got a system down, and I'm kind of not too excited about adding a ton of new cards and a ton of new content to it. But I am looking forward to using these equipment cards, and I think this is a cool package. I mean, there's a lot here. I played Marvel United enough to know that I'm sure this plays well. I've not heard any real flaws with it. And it's a good, affordable place to start. If you're a big X-Men fan, I still really recommend that one very highly. The core X-Men box, like this one, is jam-packed with quite a bit of content. The original Marvel United has got some classic characters you're going to want. It's just a little slimmer on content, but I've also seen it dirt cheap. I mean, I've seen that thing for like 15 bucks. So you really can't go wrong with any of those. But yeah, thanks for checking out the Cardboard Cave. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for sticking around with this meandering video. This was just kind of something I wanted to dig into myself and confirm that we did get the equipment cards for the classic characters, and that's cool. I'm glad we got some. At least for 15 of the characters, it looks like. And like I said, if you want more equipment cards for characters from the Season 1 or Season 2 of Marvel United, I think for now they're only included in the big promo box for season 3, but I did find some on eBay, so you might be able to as well. So there's that. Thanks for checking out Cardboard Cave. We'll catch you next time.